These would be people from your school cheering on the seniors who are taking this.
So let's go like Yonsei University because it's one of the top schools there.
미국 펜실베니아 주립대학 사회학과의 샘 리처드 교수. 무려 10년 전부터 한국에 주목했고 한국의 문화, 경제, 사회적 현상까지 면밀하게 조망해 대학 강의를 통해 한국을 알리고 있는 인물이죠. 그가 작년 하반기에 한국에 다녀갔는데요. 인천에 있는 한 국제고등학교를 방문해 강의했고 학생들과 이야기를 나누는 시간도 가졌다고 합니다. 이 경험이 꽤 인상 깊었는지 샘 리처드 교수는 미국으로 돌아가 진행한 강의에서 한국의 수능시험과 학생들의 수준에 대해 언급했는데요. 전 세계에서 가장 치열한 시험 중 하나로 손꼽히는 한국의 수능시험에 대한 외국 학생들의 반응 어땠을지 궁금하시죠? 영상으로 보여드리겠습니다.
Korean college entrance exam basically, and it's like pretty similar to like SAT in America, but the like biggest difference is the 수능. You can only take it like once in a year. So like basically like on that day, like it's just super like very important, and like as long as I remember, like when you take 수능, it starts around like 8 in the morning and then it ends around like 4:30.
If you're a Korean student, okay, your entire educational career, starting when you're 2 years old, going to your first hagwon, your entire educational career is to take that exam right there. Everything is that exam. There's like nothing else, right?
So if you're like sick or like not feeling well on that day, you have to like redo it in a year. When the suning ends, there's a lot of articles that coming out talking about like students like suiciding, because like a lot of like students, they just end up like suiciding because they didn't do well on the suning and they feel like kind of like pressure under it. So there are like 4 to 5 subjects. So like all the people, they take mathematics, Korean, English. You're done, then it's the end of the suning. But if you take like foreign language test, you can like take it and then afterwards. It's like 6 subjects in total, but if you take like extra foreign language test, it would be like 7.
Okay, so one thing about this is that the entire country is organized on this day around this test.
So like the plane, yeah, they do not run the plane on that day, like that time.
Like so planes
because of the
flying.
noise.
So okay. Meaning, so they reroute air traffic.
Even like companies, like they do not go to company on the day because of the traffic.
So in the morning, in order to ensure that all the students make it to the exam on time, everybody in society, like companies and businesses and organizations, start work later on that day to make sure everybody gets there.
Schools are off, and like all the teachers and like other students, they just go and cheer up.
Like people cheering on. So these would be people from your school cheering on the seniors who are taking this. Or here's another one.
Right.
Like, what's that sign say?
So let's go like Yonsei University because it's one of the top schools there.
So I personally studied in an international baccalaureate program. And for what I know, the highest scores are always from Korea. Is IB a big thing in Korea, or is it just like a small part of the population that do it?
Like since like IB schools in Korea, they have only like small population of students. It's very competitive to get there, and it's a privilege that like most people, if they get into like those colleges, it's their like privilege. Their parents gonna be proud of you. Like if you go to like Seoul National University, your school's gonna have like flying cars for you.
So So there are the three top universities in Korea. They're called the Sky University. So it's Seoul National,
Seoul National, Korean University, and Yonsei University. Those are top 3.
That's where everybody wants to go.
US when I was 15. I went to 9th grade to high school in a very small city in North Carolina.
Wait, so you did half of your high school in Korea?
Yeah, I went to high school for 1 semester in Korea,
Got you.
and then I quit school, and then I moved to US.
Dude, just talk about that transition, going from that high school semester in Korea to the high school semester in a small
Actually,
town.
I was not really doing good in Korea, in education wise. And then my brother, I have older brother who goes to Georgia States, and then he went to US a year ago, like a year before me. So I just followed him.
Yeah, got you. So, yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's my second year here in United States. I finished my high school in my home country, South Korea, but I used to live in Canada when I was very young, so it's okay for me to adapt here in United States.
Wait, and why'd you go to Canada?
Oh, my dad, he works in a bank, and he got transferred there for
Got
a
you.
few years. So it was a great opportunity for me to live abroad at a very
Got
young
you.
age.
So, Che, how was the transition for you? Because you say your parents didn't want you to go through that? Like how? Did you go to an IB school, by the way? In
Yeah, I
Cambodia?
went to an IB school in Cambodia.
Can you
yeah.
say what that is to people who don't know?
Oh, it's an international baccalaureate program that goes on for literature, a second language, on individuals and societies, science, math, and arts subject. And then you get to choose from the pool of subjects you have within
Got ya.
each
Yeah,
category.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, and at the end of that 2 years course, you would have to take a final exam, and until then, you have to complete a project for each subject to write a whole report, and then along with
You have this idea that if you're really only focused on this is for the Americans, by the way, because if you're not from the U.S., you have an understanding of these kinds of things. But if you're from that, there's a whole world of things happening out there. That we have this idea that that there's a lot going on out there that you're not part of. When I was in Korea, Junho and I went to this Incheon International High School, and I gave a talk there. And you can see me somewhere in the middle. I think I'm in the, oh yeah, you can see me. There I am. Hang on. Right there. The dude. And so teachers are really revered in Korea, right? Not like
South Korea, if you're really educated, you're classified as upper level, and students really liked you, and you realize that a lot of students were really good at English, and then they asked a lot of questions to you. So,
dude, these students asked questions of me that I couldn't answer. There were 15-year-olds asking me questions to which I didn't have an answer. There was one question about U.S. foreign policy as it relates to China. These are 15-year-olds, right? 16-year-olds, and I almost had to do a call in to my friend who's the national security advisor to the White House on China. And I'm like, hang on a sec, y'all. I'm going to have to call her to get an answer to this question because I can't answer that question. I mean, this is what I do for a living. And I'm like, y'all are you've just blown me away.